back, not by popular demand. I'm going to show you how to make 2 cakes in 10 minutes, just in time for the holidays. The pressure's on, so let me get going. I'm going to show you how to make this famous chocolate wafers made by Nabisco. This cake was invented in the 1920s. It's so simple to make. You don't have to bake it, so it's great for the summertime, and it's great if you're having people over and you don't want to do a lot of cooking, or you don't like to do a lot of cooking. You just take a chocolate wafer, put some whipped cream on it, and start stacking the cookies. That's all you have to do. All you take is heavy cream, a little bit of confectioner's sugar, and I like to use this pure vanilla extract that's actually a paste because it has the vanilla bean flecks in it, which is really nice, so it shows up in the frosting. But you can use plain vanilla if that's all you have. Just stack the wafers, just like that. Sort of like a healthy Oreo, because you know what the center of an Oreo is, right? Just lard. Now in the background, you hear a song written probably about 20 years ago, probably the most famous song about cake, MacArthur Park. And totally, I don't get the lyrics. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it because it took so long to bake it, and I'll never have that memory again. No disrespect meant, but I think that metaphor is a total stretch. But anyway, it's the most famous cake song, so it's playing in the background for your listening enjoyment. And by the way, this cake is going to be dedicated to my friend Todd, who has a very, very bad back injury and has been struggling with it for years, and also, I understand, did not get a cake for his birthday, and that's just wrong. So Todd, this cake is for you. Now you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking the whipped cream, stacking up these little wafers here. That's all I have to do. Once those are done, they look like that. Allison, don't yell at me about the camera angle. Sorry, it's still my laptop. Take your whipped cream and just cover it up. Take all that whipped cream just like that, and just cover up those wafers. The whole thing. Don't be afraid to use too much whipped cream. There's no such thing as too much whipped cream. Use your fingers. As long as they're clean, that's cool. Cover that cake up. Just like that. There you go. Make like a nice little log. And what's cool about it is when you slice it because you've stacked the cookies on the diagonal, when you slice it, it's going to look like a zebra cake. And people will think you spent so much time on it, but it only took you less than 5 minutes. Take a little powder, a little cocoa powder, dust the cake with it like that, and then you can decorate it with anything you want. Now since this cake is for my friend Todd, and cake makes everybody feel better, Todd, this cake's for you. And here is the decorated finished product right there. I put some holly leaves on it. I don't know if they're poisonous, so don't eat the holly leaves if you put them on, but they look pretty for the holidays. Okay, cake number 2. This cake has been in my family for as long as I can remember. We call it an Italian plum cake. It's a very basic cake. You can put any kind of fruit you want on it. Delicious. So I have 1 stick of butter and 1 cup of sugar. In the olden days, they called them 1-1-1 cakes or 1-2-3 cakes because people couldn't really read, but they could tell numbers. Stir it up. You can use an electric mixer, but the point of me using this particular method of mixing is just to show you how easy it is. You don't have to have any kind of fancy equipment. To that, I'm going to add this really cool vanilla bean paste that I love. Use about a teaspoon. I'm just going to eyeball it because I'm under the gun to do this in 10 minutes. Okay, 2 eggs. And now in the background, because I don't want to get sued by any musicians, this is Crowded House chocolate cake. Much better than MacArthur Park. I love this song. Mix it up, cream it. That's how it looks. Okay. To that, you're going to add 1 cup of flour. You cannot destroy this cake. It's a hearty, hearty cake. Stir that in. Teaspoon of baking powder and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Stir it all up. Make sure your butter's soft before you do it. That's it. I like to use a springform pan. Grease it up. bit about the history of cake. It dates back to about 1200 BCE when Alexander the Great was crossing Europe and Asia Minor, conquering the world. He had a chief cook called Thelonious Scrumptious, which I think is how the word scrumptious came to be, or scrumptiolescence, I think. He learned how to bake these cakes for the troops so that they didn't have to carry food that would spoil. The troops loved it so much that they ended up getting paid by cake rather than by sandals and salt, which I think is a good deal. Spread that in that pan. Lots of quotes about cake. Marie Antoinette said, if they don't have bread, let them eat cake. Courtney Love said, I want to be with the girl with the most cake. That sounds good. And James Thurber said, the most dangerous cake is a wedding cake. That sounds kind of ominous. Okay, there's your cake. Now what's next? What you're going to do next is take some granulated nice brown sugar, sprinkle that on there. Then I'm going to take some pine nuts, sprinkle those on there. And you can take any kind of fruit that you happen to have in the house. In the finished version of this cake, I used pears. There it is, right there. I just took the pears, put them all around. There's a beautiful cake. That's it. 2 cakes, 10 minutes. And I have a guest appearance here from my friend Barack Obama. I don't want any hate mail, people. This is a cooking show. Because he really is a guy who could probably use some cake right now. So there you go. 2 cakes, 10 minutes, just in time for the holidays. Allison, if you want to come down here and help me do this right, I'm ready. There you go. Happy holidays, everybody.